Hi friends, welcome to this reading where I'm going to be talking about, or rather I'm going to let the cards talk about whether this current breakup that you're going through, if it's really over with this person or not. You've spent a lot of time invested in getting to know this person, and you may have been the person who started the breakup, or you may be the person who's stuck in the middle of it. But this reading is to give you that clarity to know, is it worth your time and effort to spend more time here, or is it really over? So I selected three different oracle cards from three different decks here to start us off. And the first one, we have Inner Calling. So this to me really looks like a surrender card when I look at it. It's got a lot of symbology for a new path starting. When you look at that sparkling white path leading off into a very sunny horizon, and the figure is lifted off the page, so it means to me that there's a time of inner reflection that's definitely going to be helpful. Get away from all the distractions. Might be a really good idea to get off social media for a minute so that you're not seeing reminders. But if you're serious about wanting to know your best future, your best choice is to go inside for wisdom. So hopefully by the end of this reading you'll have even more ideas on how to use that time. But it doesn't give an answer, but it does say that on the inside is the path to knowing what to do. And our second card is Embrace the Flow of Life. So when I look at this, right away I just think of the idea that perhaps the family was a part of the breakup. Maybe one of the persons did not want a family and the other one did. But there's something about this, that circle of life that is symbolized by the moon in this card. I just think that if you were caught in a breakup where either one of you wanted to start a family and it wasn't in the cards for you, so to speak, that you embrace the flow of life and take this in. Sometimes I guess it is possible to change that core desire to be a mom or a dad, a parent of any kind. But if this is the question that's facing you, it's really important that you get clear. Totally goes with that inner calling card. If you think about it, if you have an inner calling to be a parent, that's something you can't ignore, or vice versa. So sometimes people try to compromise when one of the partners wants a family and the other isn't ready for it, and that can cause a lot of stress. Our third card is The Word Wants to Be Written. Wow, that's really a good thought. Anytime that I have been stuck between two choices, it's always been helpful to write things down. Just an old-fashioned piece of paper and a pen and a pencil, whatever you wish, and write down that column of why you broke up. Write it in detail, and then next to it write the column of why you originally fell in love with this person. If you look in the, where's my pointer? If you look in the turban, the energetic turban that's above this figure's head, it's all butterflies, and in a way that's a little concerning, because they say about butterflies being in your stomach, when you're nervous. But in this picture, I'm almost seeing this as a fantasy, that there's a fantasy of beauty and life inside of this relationship. The tears stains on the face make me think there's some fantasy involved. So when the word wants to be written, I believe that you're going to really have some wisdom here when you're able to write down some ideas about this breakup. Okay, so now I'm going to draw some tarot, and I'm going to use the transparent tarot, which is a new tool for me. I know it's been out for a while, but these cards enable us to tell a story by stacking the cards on top of one another. And so what we're asking for right now is the clarity that our dear viewer is seeking. It's obvious that this has been a deep connection. It's obvious that there is an inner call that is drawing both of these people forward. Nobody's staying still. Life is always moving and flowing. But what is it that this particular person who is watching this video right now, what is it that they most need to hear to get the answer, the wisdom, and the action steps that are going to be most helpful? Okay, so let me cut the deck here. Okay. Okay. And the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we have the devil. Interesting art for the devil on this one because it clearly shows a collar or a collar and chains. And the devil can be a time when you, even in your own mind, are so trapped by the thoughts that you've been thinking about this situation. Perhaps there's even been one particular hurt that you keep replaying over and over in your mind. And when you think about it, if you look at the shape here, it almost looks like the cycling thoughts would be going round and around and around like a rat caught, wanting to run out of these chains but not being able to. And so also, of course, the devil card can symbolize that the person you're dealing with has a side that is more manipulative, that you've noticed some things, there's some trickery, there has been something that has made your intuition go cold. If you've been ignoring your intuition, this is not a good thing. It can isolate you. If you ignore your intuition, you can isolate yourself, and that can be a real problem with that devil energy. And then we have the Ace of Pentacles. So the Ace of Pentacles, that's very interesting because that is a card, of course the Pentacles are about our money, but they're also about our relationships. So there is something about this that right from the start of this relationship, right from the get-go, you may have had doubts. You may have compromised a little bit and thought, oh, you know, that's not that bad. He's a great person, or excuse me, they are a great person in their world. I watch them, I see them, and yes, I see this bit of a problem, but I don't think it's that bad. If you ever say it's not that bad about the same person more than once, it's that bad. May I say that again? If you ever say it's not that bad about the same person's behavior, it is that bad if you have to say it more than once. Because when you start making excuses for poor behavior, that's when you can get yourself in trouble and not see the truth for what it is. Again, the Four of Wands is a card that shows partnership. It really has enough fire. This particular couple has enough fire to keep it going. You notice that one wand they're holding in peace, and the other one they're holding in conflict. So this would be normal. There's no couple that has no conflict or no fights, right? No arrangement. However, the wands go all the way up through the suit, and this is maybe an immature look at how to put a couple together. So now, to get the full story, what we do is we put this together. Our fourth card is the Ten of Wands, and you can see that this is a very burdened character. This is a character who has been carrying a lot of weight for a long time. Now, the good news is with the Ten of Wands is that you're almost finished. There's a cycle being finished here. There's a weight that is coming off. So that would say to me that if this is not finished, then there will be a fresh start. You cannot go back to the very beginning, and you will need to have help and support to make sure that you've unlearned the things that have caused this breakup. It's not easy, but it is simple because communication, and getting back to what brought you together in the first place might be enough. But let's take a look at all of these pictures today together and see what we see. Okay, let me put it down. All right, so what we see here in the layers, let me just draw myself in closer so we can see better. Okay. The center of the circle has that big pentacle in it, and that where we have the devil energy, and then we have that ace of pentacles right on top of it. So it seems to me that financial considerations have been really a big part of the problems with this, and also that something has been going on since the very beginning. It's so important that you be very honest with yourself. When I look at this card, you can see that that top of the pentacle is not splitting completely evenly. Can you see that? The tip of the pentacle is over towards this character's side. So that just makes me think that there has been some imbalance when it comes to finances in this couple. And it seems to be because the pentacle and their roots are both trapped together. I think that money may have been a problem all the way along. And you know what? It's too much for one of these characters. One of these characters is feeling extraordinarily burdened. So this particular couple, the way it is, the energy doesn't look like it is sustainable. All right? Nobody wants to be chained and isolated. I mean, it's like a gilded cage where everybody thinks it's great, but it's not. So in this particular case, I would say that if you want to stay, there's work that needs to be done. It's not something that you can do easily all by yourself because you're isolated. So what I want to do is to give you this idea that I've used, and it works very well for me with writing. You want to use both your left hand and your right hand. Whichever one is your non-dominant hand, you're going to be interviewing that hand with your dominant hand. So you write down with your dominant hand, hey there, how are you doing, what's up, and then switch hands until and write the answer. When you are writing answers to questions, with your non-dominant hand, it gives a part of your brain, a part of your mind, and a part of your memories a chance to be seen and to speak. And I would definitely ask your non-dominant hand, why do you want to stay? Why is it important to stay? And then switch hands, write it down, and listen. It really will be moving for you. Be sure to have some tissues nearby. And so I want to be able to, I don't have cards, my cards are in, oh no, here. I want to be able to draw an oracle card just to finish this, because this is a deep reading, and you know what, for some people it's not deep at all. For some people watching, you're like, yes, yes, amen, and yes, because you are tired of being in that circle and you want the freedom. And when I look at out here and I see this circle, embrace the flow of life, whatever this transition is for you, you have to realize that you're not in this alone. These angels are surrounding you top to bottom, and there is an inner calling that will guide you. So as I draw our last card, we have to do some research. Okay, so you need more information about this situation. Look into it further before proceeding. This is a beautiful card for you, because the last thing you want to do is to rush. Do your research, take your time, do this left hand, right hand exercise, see what your gut has to say, find a trusted friend, talk to somebody about what's really going on, and make a good decision for yourself. Is it really over? You tell me. Do your research. I believe you will know.